Alice! Alice! Hello, Ruby.
Gerald, dear. You're early. Alice told me to bring these chickens. They're plucked or whatever, and the thingies are in a separate thingy.
I don't know where she is.
Then you haven't seen her?
No.
She said she was going to phone you at the office. I suppose you've left. Then you don't know what's happened.
No, what has happened?
Alice is going to make coq au vin.
Is that all?
No. Apple pie for afters.
She wouldn't phone the office to tell me that.
I'm teasing.
Well, don't. Just give me the information.
Oh, Gerald, information's so dull.
That's the way I like it.
It's Sandra.
What about her?
Oh, you're going to be so thrilled when you hear this. She's coming here this evening to see Tony. And she's bringing little Mandy with her. Isn't that wonderful?
Well, it might be. Soon. Hello, Baldy here. Hello, Donald. She's just come in, as a matter of fact.
Hi, Dad. You're early.
It's for you.
I don't want to speak to him.
It's Donald.
Any message?
Goodbye.
She says goodbye. Goodbye? Do you mean that Sandra and Tony have made it up?
Not quite. But Alice is hoping it'll happen over the coq au vin. She's in the village now getting a few bottles to help it along.
Oh, Dad, have a message from Tony. Says he and Jim are coming back to move the car and you're not to make a fuss.
Sue. Jim, I don't even know who Jim is. I'm going to make some tea.
Oh, lovely.
The important thing is don't interfere.
We should have a strategy.
No! Sandra's a grown woman. If she and Tony can work things out, that's fine. If not, we must just accept it.
What if they make it up and she wants to move in here as well?
We'll find room for them.
With 2 kids?
Look, they'll manage.
What about us?
They're our own flesh and blood.
The father of Sue's baby, is he our flesh and blood?
Of course not. But the baby is.
Perhaps they could all move in. Sue and Donald in the little back room and Sandra and Tony in the front.
What about you?
I shan't be here.
Where will you be?
I shall be in a cardboard box in a shop doorway somewhere.
Oh, don't be silly, Gerald.
Well, there's nothing much I can do here. I think I'll go in and drink.
Right.
Right.
It'll be lovely for Justin to see Mandy again.
I was just thinking, we haven't had one day's real peace since we got here.
Better have another.
Is that the answer? Take to the bottle?
Joke, dear, joke. Everyone knows, as soon as you have a family, you have problems.
This fella Jim isn't family. He's a complete stranger. He's left his car in my garage.
Ignore it.
You wouldn't say that if it was in the middle of your sitting room.
It's just an object. It'll be gone tomorrow.
You mean he's going to leave it there all night?
Look, let him. Sue, I'm worried about.
She's not,
No. That's always the first thing you think about. She's changed.
In what way?
I think she's fretting about something.
Perhaps she's coming round to the idea that when you're a mother, it can be quite useful to have a husband.
It's not that. I think it might be something at work.
Maybe after himself, he's terrible.
Oh, he might be quite interesting.
You like older men, do you?
Only when they're good-looking, Tony.
Thanks.
Dad!
Oh, hello there. You know Jim and Gay, don't you?
Yes, we've met. Now, he really is good-looking. Look!
Very nice.
Oh, are they for me? For my mum?
You want to send them, do you?
Let's put it in a vase when she gets here.
Gets here? What, you mean she's coming here?
In about half an hour. And Mandy.
How do you know? Who told you?
Grandad.
He's back early. Well, I think we better have a word with your granddaddy. Oh, better move that car, Jim.
Right. Come on.
Sandra won't want all this fuss. She invited herself.
That
She may not even
Leave.
stay for dinner. All she'll want is a tough talk
polish,
about who gets the
Gerald.
custody of what, and then she'll go straight back.
She's bringing little Mandy. She'll want to stay the night.
Look, I don't want you to make a big thing of... Oh, now I get it. You want us to sleep together, don't you?
We don't want to interfere.
You mean you don't want to be seen to interfere? But you'd like us to get together, wouldn't you?
That's a matter between you and Sam.
No, neither of us wants that. She's got to stay the night, then I shall fix up the other cabin on the boat. Unless, of course, you'd like to let her have your bedroom and you sleep on the boat.
Oh, sorry. Oh, we have to move the other car to get mine out.
Right. Jim, this is my mum and dad.
Oh, hi there.
Do?
What do you think of the country, Mr. Bodley?
You mean Great Britain?
Oh, I like it. I like it. No, I meant the rural atmosphere.
Ah, well, it is more crowded than I expected.
People are more neighbourly. They help one another
Right,
more.
we do, we do. I can see you're obviously one of us, Mr. Bodley. Look, I really appreciate you lending me the garage. And if you ever want your car touching up any time, just let me know.
You think it needs touching up?
Well, a few dragon flares might give it a lift, eh, what?
I think I'll wait until I've had my punk-style haircut.
Oh, I like it, I like it.
Give me your keys and I'll move the car for you.
It's all right, I can manage.
Hi, Dad. Hello, Jim.
Hello, sir. Excuse me, Mrs. Bodley.
Hello, Mandy. Ah, nice. Sandra.
Gerald.
Mummy, Mummy! Mummy! Mandy, come and look at the boat!
But where's your father?
He's making a bed with Gay Potter. I told you I heard a car. Hi there.
Hello, Sandra. Hello, Mandy.
Brilliant.
I didn't do anything. It was perfectly innocent.
No excuse.
First time she's been here.
Such bad taste.
Her boyfriend's in the garage.
Oh, never mind, it doesn't matter. Sue, I'm sorry. Let me see her. Oh, Amanda, come here. I'm so sorry.
No, that's quite all right.
Amanda, say hello to Lucy.
Hello. I'm your cousin. She can't talk yet.
Excuse me interrupting, but Jim and that girl want to leave, so we shall have to move our cars, Sandra.
Yes, of course.
I'll move it if you like.
No, thanks.
It won't take a minute.
Oh, excuse me, Mr. Bodley. Won't be a minute.
Yes, just a minute.
Ah! Thought I'd find you. Wait a minute. You owe me an explanation, Sue. Listen to me. Wait. She's my baby just as much as yours.
I told you to phone before you turned up, Donald.
I did
This is
phone.
not good enough.
Thank you
I don't
very
want
much.
you in
And I
this
get your
house.
father on. Come back here. Why do I have to speak to your father all the time?
Is everyone ready for dinner?
He's gone to the pub.
2 bottles of wine, and now he's gone to the pub.
If he comes back, don't let him in.
It seems to me that...
Gerald, this is a matter for Sue and Donald and nobody else.
She's just told me not to let Donald in. What if he uses force?
Get Tony to help you.
Tony's gone with him.
To the pub?
Yeah,
He's left Sandra on her own.
that's right.
I'd better go over and have a word with her.
Sit down.
Are you speaking to me, Sergeant Major?
Leave them alone. They're working things out.
With her on the boat and him in the pub?
It won't help matters if you put your oar in.
Seems to me that a few words from a mature, open mind...
It's just what Sandra doesn't need.
I see.
Look, why don't you take your mature, open mind down to the field and have a chat with the kids?
have to cut his milk ration down. He's just getting too big. And Grandpa won't let us keep him. Hello, Grandad. It's a close one.
Now, what can I offer you? There's a bottle of sherry here, but I don't know how long it's been open.
I couldn't touch a thing.
Well, I expect you want to know what Tony and I are going to do.
We know you'll tell us in your own good time.
It's perfectly understandable that you should be anxious about your son's marriage and the welfare of your grandchildren. After all, they're the other end of the extended family, which is the natural support system of the human race.
Never really thought of it quite like that.
Well, it used to be, until it was scuttled by architects and town planners.
I don't know what the planners would say about these living conditions.
I suppose you blame me for the fact that Tony's here.
Blame doesn't come into it, Sandra.
You know I turned him out. I did.
Yes, he told us.
Did he tell you why?
Well, I know he'd left his job. I can't think what came over him.
He's immature.
I know that he never realised you needed to work.
I never let my career get in the way of my duty as a wife. I always did more than my share of the housework. There were no sexual problems. What more did he want? There's somebody out there.
Don't let me, Sandra.
Oh, Lord.
It's all right. Come down.
I'm not interfering.
I've just been telling Alice that you have a perfect right to involve yourselves.
You said that?
Yes. You have a stake in our family. It's us and the children who keep you interested in life when you're really old.
I see what you mean. Have you told Tony that all is forgiven?
Gerald.
He's very unhappy, you know. That's why he's gone to the pub.
Please sit down, Gerald. Just tell me one thing. If you came home one day and told Alice that you weren't going to work anymore, what do you think she'd do?
I can tell you.
Please let him answer.
Send for the doctor?
Right, I would.
I suggested Tony went to see a psychiatrist.
What did he say?
Get stuffed.
That is his standard reply to any serious suggestion.
And now he's gone off to the pub again. I suppose when he gets back, he'll be drunk. That'll be the last straw, as far as I'm concerned.
Yes, well, I think I'd better go over and have a word with him.
Gerald, I hope you remember what I said about not interfering.
I do remember. And I shall remember. I don't know how long I'll be at the pub, but don't wait up.
Last.
In my experience, when women want something, they usually get it. The best we males can do is employ delaying tactics. Slow them up a bit. It's a policy born of despair, but it's the least painful in the long run.
I don't see that a woman has any right to finish with a man once she's born his child. There's a type of spider that does that.
The Black Widow. They eat their male as well, once the fun's over.
I wonder if they realise at the time what's going to happen to them.
I shouldn't think so. Difficult to abandon yourself to ecstasy if you know you're the main course for dinner.
You're thinking of the thing in human terms. We're a different species.
Exactly. Look at swans. They're different again. They mate for life. If one of them gets run over or something, the survivor remains celibate forever.
You wouldn't remain celibate forever if I got run over, would you?
The way things are now, it wouldn't make any difference, would it?
Still holding out, are you, Gay?
She's frightened of her dad.
Oh, just leave him out of it.
I want to.
Personally, I think she's blaming her dad, but doing exactly what she wants. Women always do.
It's so unfair. After all, it's only like they sit on the egg, isn't it? Well, that's all they do. Hatch out our egg. If I gave some dough to the baker and said, bake that for me, whose bread would it be? It wouldn't be his just because he'd had it in his oven, would it?
You've got an original mind, yeah? He ought to be on the telly with Germaine Greer. Floor her with logic, he would.
She'd eat him for breakfast, like those spiders.
Evening, Skipper. Drop of rum, is it? Splice the main brace.
Not for me, thank you. Forgive this intrusion. Tony, may I have a word?
What about?
A private word.
My wife used to be like that. Always popping in and giving me the... Next thing I know, she'd have my trousers down.
Not in public, I hope.
No, she never comes in the bar these days. In case she gives way to temptation.
I
couldn't get drunk even if I wanted to. I can't afford it.
Good. Then come home before it's too late.
Too late for what?
Well, to sort out this problem with Sandra. She wants to talk it over.
She said I needed psychiatric treatment.
No, forget it. Listen, you owe it to the kids to really sort out this problem finally without bitterness on either side. Delia, now save years of misery for yourself. And us.
Settle it tonight?
Yes. Clear the air. Listen to her point of view.
Right. I'll do it.
You will? Good. I'm proud of you. Grasp the net. Come on.
Good night. I'm going back to sort things out with Sandra.
How about you two sorting things out as well?
I'm certainly ready.
That's nice. So, if I could persuade you and Miss Bodley to get yourselves organised, I could have a quiet evening.
Mama, darling, could you come?
I spoke too soon. Coming, sweetheart!
We'll leave you to it.
No, I want you both to stay. I think if you're here, there's more likely to be fair play. Otherwise, we just start shouting.
Thanks very much.
Or he gets sarcastic. Now, are there any areas we can agree about? For example, I'm prepared to admit that I miss him physically, as I hope he misses me. Do you? Can we agree on that?
I keep Justin here, but you draw the child allowance for both him and Mandy. Well, that's just monstrous.
You see, all he wants to do is quarrel.
Well, that's not quarrelling. It's a plea for justice.
Now, Tony, it does seem to me...
I think you should keep quiet.
Quite right. I won't speak.
You see, your father isn't too proud to listen to his wife's views. Why don't you follow his example?
He'd do anything to get me off the premises. Yeah, he'd even keep quiet.
Now, Tony, in order for you and Sandra to get together...
Gerald.
You see, Alice and I have never quarrelled. All through our lives together, there's been a rare and wonderful harmony. And this puts Tony at a disadvantage.
Sorry, are you saying that you and Mum never row?
Of course I am. That's right, isn't it, dear?
Well, we've disagreed. We've had differences.
So what's the secret? Tolerance?
Look, I don't think it helps one couple to discuss another couple's problems.
No. You tell her. Tell her the truth.
But the truth doesn't always help.
Perhaps not, but I've never known it hurt anybody.
Well, Gerald would never quarrel. It's against his nature.
There you are, you see.
If he doesn't get his own way, he just sulks. I'm sorry, dear, but you did insist. Don't laugh, Tony.
Look, Sandra, let's sort out things as amicably as we can and put an end to it. Then you'll be free to get on with your career.
I knew that was it. I knew. My career, with all his trendy talk about equality, all he really wanted was a sex object who'd stay at home to fetch and carry for him, darn his stinking socks and pick up his underpants.
I'll pack your bags.
In other words, Alice, spoil him like you did. Right.
I always said you did far too much for him.
I did far too much for all of you. Has it ever occurred to you, Gerald, that sometimes you are pushing your luck?
I don't think you quite took my point.
Oh, yes, I did. You didn't take mine. But then sometimes you are quite thick.
Excuse me. I hope you'll remember that it was not I who ruined any chance of bringing these two young people together.
Gerald. Gerald, Donald! She's gone to bed.
Bed? Is she ill?
No.
It's only just gone 8. I want you to give her this.
Well, I'm not sure that I...
Please. I'll wait here to see what she says. I won't trouble you again.
Very well. Sit down. Sit. Now, keep quiet. We've had quite enough trouble here for one day.
Who is it?
Only me.
Come in.
Donald sent you this.
Has he gone?
No, he's waiting downstairs.
Tell him to mind his own damn business. Thanks.
Like a nice cup or something?
Look at this.
Thing I say, I need to be all the same old arguments again and again.
Amanda's.
Thank you very
Careful
much.
on those stairs. Coming back in. Mandy! Come on, Mandy, come on. Mum is waiting.
No, I want to stay here.
All right. Look, she won't come. So
Will you get somebody to move that car? I'm sure I can't back
Well, I
up.
haven't got the
There's
keys,
a
have
car
I?
in the way. Will you
Oh.
wind up?
Wait.
Will you get out? How am I supposed to get out here if you won't?
But my wife can't get her car out. Now, look, if you don't move yours, she might decide to stay.
I'm waiting to hear from Sue.
Okay, but be as quick as you can.
Now, you're not going to like this, Donald, but she just said, mind your own business.
But it is my business. If she has no job, how can she support the baby?
She has a job.
No, she hasn't. She's been sacked. Didn't you know? Oh.
Gerald.
Yeah?
Oh, forget it. Thank goodness we're finished with all that sort of thing. Shouting and fighting. It's so good to have someone you know and can trust and rely on.
Yes. But you shouldn't have told them I sulked.